Nigeria's Flying Eagle booked a place in the quarterfinal of the 2025 African Under-20 Cup of Nations after playing out a 2-all draw against Kenya. Ali Zubairu's side finished second in Group B with 5 points from 3 games. The Atlas Club of Morocco topped the group with 7 points after beating Tunisia 3-1 at the Suez Canal Stadium in Ismaili. Nigeria's Under-20 national team, the Flying Eagles, will face a top team from Group C, either DR Congo, Ghana, or defending champion Senegal in the quarterfinal of the 2025 African Cup of Nations Under-20. Kingsley, it was a very cagey encounter for the Flying Eagles against the bottom rock team Kenya. We couldn't beat them. We ended 2-all. But Kenya have not gotten a single point prior to that game, and there was this high hope that we're going to, get all 3 points against them. Should we be worried by this draw against the bottom team Kenya ahead of the quarterfinal that possibly will come up against a strong team like DR Congo, Ghana, or even Senegal?
I think we should not be worried. The Kenyans were like wounded lions. They wanted to do everything yesterday, of course, to stay top, to see at least if they can salvage, all 3 points, in that particular encounter. The Flying Eagles, of course, did their best, at least by putting up that high level of performance we saw yesterday. I think if you take a look at the group, you want to say, it actually looked like a challenging one for them, seeing Tunisia, also Morocco, that we even talked about the fact that most of their players ply their trade in Europe, and then coming down to Kenya as well. Yes, they look like the whipping boys in the group, but they showed, prowess in the last game, knowing the fact that, anything that comes up in that one might possibly be in their own advantage. So for me, I think we have nothing to worry about. The Flying Eagles of Nigeria, I think just like the coach have said the other day, they need to take the game one after the other. Now they have qualified, of course, to the next stage. No matter who they're going to meet, they should put up that high level of performance. In fact, improve from what they've done, in the group stage. If they can get past Tunisia, and also was able to hold their own against Morocco and as well, Kenya, I think they have what it takes to challenge the likes of maybe DR Congo, Ghana, or whatever they're going to meet, in the next stage of the competition. I just hope that with what Ali Zubairu is doing, definitely the Flying Eagles of Nigeria will go far at this time around. Though if you take a look at it, how many points were they able to gather? First 3 points, they drew against Morocco, and now they drew. You take a look at it, 5 points. One will say, they were supposed to do better than that. But I think if they at least, take it a game after, game one after the other, I think possibly they will get the job done at the end. Don't forget, they've won this tournament on several occasions. So I think that winning mentality, that, champion spirit is in them. I will just hope that, of course, they get the job done at the end of the day.
All right, we hope that Zubairu's men can get the job done at the end of the day. But the reason why I had to point towards that direction, Kingsley, is because of the fact that, just like you mentioned, we have dominated this competition, winning a record 7 good times. Ahead of that game against Morocco, who paraded 19 out of 26 players, foreign-based professionals, and we were able to hold them to a draw. There was this high hope that if we can hold the Moroccan team that parades such a, notable stars, some ply their trade for PSG, Huesca, and some of the top clubs in Europe, if we're able to hold them to ransom, then the last game against the whooping team would just be more like a ceremonial game. But then it proved very difficult for us that we even struggle to come out, with that very draw. And that is why I'm asking, with what you saw against Morocco, where we were able to hold them to draw, then again against a lowly rated team such as Kenya, who had not gotten even a single point in the group, and our next game will be against some of the tough opponents. And that is why I asked the question, do we really have a chance in the quarterfinal against any of these teams? Or you think Zubairu was just trying to be maybe more cautious because of the fact that, after all, there was nothing much for us to play?
Yeah, for me, I think you just made a point there. I think he was more cautious, given the fact that even a draw will send us through to the next stage of the competition. So, if you take a look at it, the boys actually played to win. But like I mentioned, the Kenyans were like, no, we can't just come and go just like that. We looked as if we're nothing. They actually proved themselves yesterday. So for me, I think we have nothing to be worried about. We have nothing to fear. I believe what the boys did yesterday, we saw them play very beautiful football. You know, we understand that our 8th grade teams, they're usually very, very fantastic.
True, true.
But the problem we have is
Succession.
Taking them from one step to the other, bringing them, you know, into maybe the national, the Super Eagles or thereabouts. We don't always see that. You see these talents. We see I saw one of them would say yesterday he had a very fantastic football, but then you don't hear about them. So,
and that reminds me, the national team coach Eric Chair was also on ground to, you know, of course, watch that game. Is he thinking of trying to pick 1 or 2 players and integrate him to the national team?
I just hope so. All right, I hope so that that will be the case at this point in time, because we're seeing talent come, and at the end of the day we don't hear about them.
True.
On several occasions. So I just hope that now that Eric Chair is now moving from one venue to the other to watch teams even in the NPFL and all of that, at least he will try to integrate some of these players maybe to the national team, or try to provide a platform where these players will be groomed, and let's see how we can possibly look at for bringing them maybe to limelight every time. Oh, who is going to play for the Super Eagles? Let's go to Cyprus. Let's go to Belgium. Yeah, we have players there. Let's see if we can talk to them to come and play. We keep on begging those ones that are outside the country every year, please come and play for us. And when they come, there will be that little sense of pride in them. Oh, at least after all, they begged me to come, and all of that. To wearing the national team, of course, we understand it's a thing of pride, but sometimes some of those foreign players do not even see it as anything at the end of the day. So for me, I think from what we're seeing at this point in time, I think Nigerians have nothing to worry about. The Flying Eagles of Nigeria getting down to the next stage of the competition. With what I saw, I believe they have what it takes to challenge any team.